22nd of May and it's snowing.
You're John. I'm Dave.
It's a nice and sunny day.
Muhammad Ali.
He's got a heart made of yellow barley straw.
I counted 5 on Wednesday, and that's what they should be. There were 5 eggs here. If we're lucky here, we'll see the parent birds bringing bugs to the young ones.
It's a nice day, we're out for a walk. We need to walk just for my betterment, and Jackie's, she's here for company today, so I just told her a few meters down the road, if you feel like the need to jog, go ahead, because I only walk at this speed. so that's what we're doing. We're just out trying to, it's good for you. My husband had a stroke earlier this year, so he's in Wascana rehab right now, so in the morning I kind of just take care of business. Like, we were farming, my farm's rented out this year, so that's a relief I don't have to worry about. But still, for my own head, I have to keep myself kind of up with it. And so walking is good for you to release endorphins and keep your emotions kind of in check. And the birds are singing. We just startled up some ducks here not too far. Wow. There was some animal running across the field that I couldn't identify it. I don't know if it was a dog or it was dark, so I don't know what it was. So, it's just wildlife, and it's a beautiful day. The smells, the choke cherries are all in bloom today. You can smell them in the air. This particular quarter hasn't got much broken land on it. It's pretty near all native, and it's nice. It's nice to walk by here because the wind is, you're in the shelter of the trees. And, you can hear the blackbirds and the frogs, and it's just good.
I'm going for my regular evening walk. I do this every evening when the weather is nice, and I love it. It just gets you going. And sometimes I walk in the mornings too. I have walked many years. I used to walk to work when I worked at Echo Lodge. I'd walk to work and walk home from work if the weather was nice. I've done that for years and love it. We walk to school 4 miles. I love it. It gets the heart going. You see deer in the hills, and of course the birds. Well, when we walked to school many years ago, if you slept in, you had to walk fast, not to come late. But I love it. It gives you a good workout. Instead of going to the gym, this is free. And I'm not even out of breath, if you notice. Because I do it all the time. I love it. Isn't it beautiful out this evening? Everything's so green, and the birds. I even had a pair of robins bathing in the bird bath this afternoon in my backyard. So spring is here. Time for walking. And I'm not the least bit out of breath.
This one here.
Yeah, there.
The old grain elevator. He had his office where he had his telephone in it.
That was just an extension ringer.
And his ringer box was out in the elevator. When the phone rang, he ran to his telephone.
It was just
Yeah.
like a
Just a-
ringer that he could hear that the phone was ringing.
Yeah, yeah. I rescued this out of the elevator in Dyser here when they tore it down.
The one that's been torn down. You guys are lucky you still have one here.
Yeah, well, we had 5 at one time.
So it's still kind of nice to see a grain elevator around this town because, they were sentinels of the prairies for so long, the grain elevator itself. And they claimed that that was one of the reasons that they chose Moose Jaw as a training base for air pilots, is that they couldn't get lost very well because there were so many small towns with elevators that had the name of the town on the side of it.
Yeah.
So they could just swoop by these elevators and they knew sort of where they were. And they could also follow the rail lines, in their training planes so that they could get back quite easily. So apparently Moose Jaw was chosen largely because of our flat terrain and our grain elevators and railway lines.
Sure.
My great-great-grandfather and grandmother, they're from Ukraine. They used to live in the Tway area. It's another small community just out of here. But there is Ukrainian churches and mass and all that, yes. All farmers. Everybody was farmers here. This is a big farming community, that's all it ever was. They used to collect hubcaps. I had over 26,000 hubcaps, and now I sold most of them for scrap iron. We buy and sell vehicles for scrap iron and parts. I just crushed 99 vehicles. McDonald's Metals picks them up in Prince Albert. They're gone. I work in St. Brew for Borgo Industries. We build farm machinery it goes all over the world. Ukraine, Russia, Australia, Kazakhstan, United States, all over the world. Biggest manufacturer in Canada, I think, right now. Yeah. Like Borgo Industries, a lot of people don't know that big like farm machinery is built right here in Saskatchewan. They figure everything's built in the United States or China or Japan, but we build the best farm machinery pretty well in the world, you might as well say. Lots of it too. I'm the mayor of, yep. 7 years now. Yes. Yeah, there's 3 of us in council. There's a Don Brown, Leona Dool, and myself. Like right now, people from Alberta are buying houses and acreages around this area. It's ridiculous. They're paying top dollar. Like more people from the city should come to the smaller communities. In this town we have exactly the same as the city has. Water and sewer is the same setup as in the cities. There's no problem there. Everyone got power. We got everything. Telephone. Got everything just like the cities. It's very, very safe. The police patrol here often.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
We're the hardware guys.
You can barbecue anytime. It doesn't have to be an occasion. As soon as you put the match to it and start the whole barbecue process, it's a holiday. It's a,
That barbecue determines the holiday.
really?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like if we were to start barbecuing right now, it's holiday.
It's holiday time. Yeah, it's a time to relax and get back to cooking with fire. So it's kind of a man thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're fans of meat. I think
Yeah, we can say pork, beef. It doesn't matter. Chicken,
sausages,
sausage. Yeah,
links.
links. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
Tonight we're barbecuing.
I'd like to take this time to introduce our good friend Jamie Sebastian of Smokin' Joe's Southern Barbecue.
Jamie, thanks for having us over tonight. You know I and David are avid barbecuers.
Oh yeah.
We're kind of interested in how you do it, and we'd like to see your procedures.
Okay, well first of all we started with a wood burning pit. I mean, here in Canada, most people when they think of barbecuing are thinking of, you know, propane grills, I mean maybe charcoal and natural gas.
Such as ourselves, yeah?
Such as
Yep.
yourselves,
Yep.
yeah. And I mean there's nothing wrong with that. Tonight what we're going to be doing is, while we get our meat, we're going to be doing beef brisket. We're going to smoke it with oak.
Okay. Is there any particular reason why you use oak for this?
Well, there's different flavors, and I mean, depending what you're smoking, I mean, you'll use a different type of wood. I mean, oak would probably almost be the king of woods to use. I mean, it just, what it does to beef, I mean, is just absolutely amazing. With pork, you might want to use maple or a little bit of apple wood. It's like when we smoke this meat, we're going to be doing it at about 210 to 220 degrees Fahrenheit. And the whole thing behind this is low and slow. All right, now before we light the fire in the pit, we're going to put some water in it. We usually put about 2 to 3 gallons in there. As the meat is going to be on here for a long time, and typically sometimes that can dry meat out. The water is going to create humidity and moisture inside the barbecue to help keep that meat moist as it cooks through its process. Now we're going to go down and we're going to light the fire. I'm just going to put a little bit of charcoal in here just to get the fire going. Just use a little propane torch, and we're just going to
That's what I'm liking.
light the coals up. They shouldn't take too long. Just get them started and then they'll take off on their own. So that's going to take off there. So this is oak, yeah, and it's been split, you know, not quite as kindling, but very small. I mean, just so we can get a good coal base started. Thanks to John O'Kalita, who's helped me split it for me. We'll close the firebox. We'll open up the dampers wide. It's like you're going to find when we put the meat on here, we're going to do it for about an hour to hour and a half per pound. So typically the briskets that I use are 12 to 14 pounds. So we're going anywhere from, you know, 12 to 14 hours with this meat. Piece of meat out. Beautiful, beautiful piece of meat.
And was this grown locally, Jamie? Or?
This actually is 100% Saskatchewan beef. It was, it's from the Natural Valley Farms plant up in Wolseley, Saskatchewan. Now my dry rub is a mixture of about 7 or 8 different spices. Mexican chili powder, got some cayenne pepper, we've got some ground black pepper, sweet paprika, some salt, garlic, and onion powder, and last but not least, a little bit of brown sugar. Now as we spice the meat, or rub the meat, sorry, I myself personally always like to rub the fat side first, because typically that doesn't need as much spice. I mean, we're going to put the same amount on it, but when I flip it over, I mean, if a little bit comes off, I mean, it's this side here that I want to make sure I have a nice coating on that I don't want to disturb. Absolutely. Right? So we're just going to flip this over like this. We're going to take our rub. We're just going to get a nice handful there, and we're going to just put it all over the meat, just like so forth. We just want to make sure everything is good and covered in the rub. Because the rub, I mean, the smoke does primarily give it probably the majority of its flavor. But I mean, when you take the flavor of beef itself mixed with the rub and the smoke, I mean, that's where we get the really delicious taste at the end. Now we're going to put this in the refrigerator for overnight, up to about 24 hours. Rolling.
To the barbecue.
Let's go.
Now we're going to open it up. Let the smoke roll up, or out. Just going to grab the meat here. And as I said, we want to cook it fat side up. So here we go. We're going to take the first brisket here, and we're going to tuck it into the top grill. And like I said, furthest away from the firebox. Firebox is over here, because we want it to cook low and slow. Grab the second brisket. And we're going to put it on the bottom in the same position. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome, Jamie.
And as we cook it and we slice it up and then we heat it up here again, it starts to actually crumble and fall apart because it's so tender.
I'm gonna put myself
Boy, that looks good.
Which is a very good barbecue
That's
sauce.
good beef. Beautiful.
Now that's something you don't get off a grill.
No, you sure don't. And I'll tell you what, you know, no matter how many times I've eaten this, I never get tired of it.
Delicious.
Delicious. Jamie.
Yeah.
Great.
Bye.
Saskatchewan Weather Report. A day so hot, the goldfish bubbled in the bowl and offered up fish and chips. A night so cold, the curve of the moon froze to the tip of the wind's tongue. A wind so high, the trees tore out their roots and offered them up to the sky. Dust so black you could die of thirst just opening a window. A sky so clear the sun shone till Sunday and back again before closing its eyes. A day so fine the afternoon dug in, its heels refused to follow the morning. A love so rare even June blushed at the thought.